Hail and well met. Welcome to the second interview episode of our heroes for the Abomination Vaults 5e adventure, which is kicking off next week. Get hype. Can you hear us all? Because this is the second time of doing the tech and making sure everything works out. So if you have any sound issues or you can't see something properly, please let me know so that I can fix it for when we go to the actual game next week. Woo! Anyway, I am Eric Scott DeB, and I am going to be GMing this campaign, which is the Abomination Vaults adventure path from Paizo Publishing, set in Galarian, the Pathfinder world, but adapted to 5e. So it's technically D&D that we're going to be running in the Pathfinder world. So like this mashup of the two settings. This is going to be really exciting. Anyway, I am a writer, game designer. You can see some of my work on the shelf behind me. And also, you can find it online, and if you join the Dungeon Scrawlers Discord, we will talk about this campaign, other campaigns, work that various writers and creatives do, including these lovely ladies who are with me now. Yeah, please join us over there. You can put exclamation point Discord in the doobly-doo down there, and it will pop that out for you. Also, there will be an Idle Champions code. I'll tell you all about that in a second. But first, let me introduce my two co-stars. We're going to start with Gabrielle. Take it away.
Uh-oh. I thought you said you were going to introduce us.
Apparently, I was mistaken.
Tricked. I'm Gabrielle Harbowy. I am a writer, game designer, editor, literary agent person. I wear many hats in addition to cute kitty ears. And I just like my cute kitty ears, okay?
They're very
And
cute.
and I will be playing the role of Merisiel the elf in our campaign.
Sweet. Sweet. Jen.
Hello, I'm Jen. I go by Savage Sparrow on the internet. I run savagesparrow.com, which is an awesome website for nerdy apparel and accessories, and also patreon.com/savagesparrow if you want to check out my artwork. I imagine if you've watched some of the other actual plays on this channel with really cool original art, that was by me. We also are an officially licensed Paizo partner, and I wanted to plug tonight. We're doing a Starfinder Kickstarter soon. It's probably going to launch sometime
Lurch.
yeah.
Or
I mean that too maybe, but it's space, so it's like floating. So that's probably going to launch sometime in October. I haven't entirely settled on a date yet. But the collection's really cute, really pretty, so definitely check it out and hit that notify me on launch button because it's real good. For this game, I will be playing Amiri, the human barbarian, and I'm really excited because I've never played a barbarian before, so it's like, ooh.
gonna
Awesome.
be awesome.
I hope
Yes.
so.
If
I
if
just
If you would like to indulge in some of the secret magic of the stream, exclamation point savage, the word savage, like savage attacker, savage rager, savage sparrow, will take you to Jen's Kickstarter. And exclamation point Gabrielle will take you to Gabrielle's Patreon. So I'm going to put in little codes like that for all of the different players for their various things. So,
Sweet.
check it out. Let me just. Oh, it looks like they both did that. No problem then.
I
All
did.
right. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. While we're on the subject, very seamlessly, let me tell you these additional ads and sponsors that we have. Our first and biggest sponsor is Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons and Dragons characters from books, novels, and popular games all into one epic adventure. It includes Frida and Havilar and Mehen from the Brimstone Angels novels. It includes Driz, Brunor, Catti-brie, all kinds of characters. Orkira is there. You see Orkira playing through Baldur's Gate on this channel as well. That's pretty awesome. You can find this game on PC, Mac, Steam, Web, Epic Game Store, Google Play, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, iPad, iPhone, all Android devices, all kinds of things. It's everywhere. For more information, check out idlechampions.com. There's also a chest code. If you put an exclamation point code, it will spit out this week's code, which will get you a Electrum chest. If you get something cool, let us know. We're always in for seeing about that. We also have 2 dice partners that I want to talk about briefly. In a realm where most warriors use plastic light weapons, Norse Foundry specializes in metal dice that feel like you're crunching the armor of the enemy horde. Do roll them in a dice tray rather than on your table. They will mess up your table. Do not drop them. They will mess up your foot. The Norse Foundry also offers exciting gaming accessories as well. They're constantly coming out with new patterns, new colors. Check it out. You can get a discount using the code that's down there. I think if you put exclamation point Norse Foundry, or you just check out the screen, it should say it. Phoenix Dice is named for the creature that rises from the ashes. They use all recycled materials for their dice, are always designing and using new kinds of materials for your enjoyment, unless, or if you are a necromancer or an artificer and want to just reuse, reduce, reuse, reanimate, these dice are excellent for that thematic purpose. You can check out their dice and accessories at phoenixdice.com. Again, you'll see the little ad down there. It looks like a phoenix, or exclamation point Phoenix Dice. And with that, we are ready to talk about our characters and the forthcoming campaign. So, what I'd like to ask is, tell me a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your involvement with the channel, how you know me, how you got roped into doing this, how I tricked you into coming on this stream, that kind of thing. And we'll start with Jen this time. Jen.
Oh boy. Okay, cool. I get to be on the hot seat. All right. I've been role playing for like at least 20 years at this point, which feels really weird to say. I'm pretty sure my role playing career can drink, which again is uncomfortable to say, but this is a safe space on this channel, even if Eric tries to make it unsafe in his game.
How dare!
I have played a variety of tabletop games, and I just love gaming so much. It's why I went into the career that I did. I design nerdy fashion for a living because I was like, there are all these really cool games and there's not stuff for me to wear. So I'm gonna make stuff that I want to wear that is celebrating all the things I love. I started playing Pathfinder during the pandemic on the Penny for a Tale channel. And that campaign was the Age of Ashes campaign. It lasted like 2 years, I believe. I think we did a clean 100 episodes. Like, it was really incredible. So if anybody has been curious about my makeup and costuming skills, turns out streaming once a week, every week, where you went into like full face makeup and stuff, it really levels up your game. I believe that whole actual play is still on YouTube, on the Penny for a Tale channel, so you can check that out. Otherwise, I believe it wasn't while I was streaming there that Allie invited me to play in a game on the Dungeon Scrawlers, which I believe was the Grey Mantle game that Eric ran. Allie had been a player in the Dune game that I ran on Weave the Tale. So like there was a lot of the, streamer commingling. When Eric decided to invite me to this game, I was super excited because like I love Pathfinder. I love, the world and the universe, and the iconics are all really cool. I remember my first exposure to Pathfinder was when I saw, I didn't get to play at the time, but when it came out, they had the big booth at Gen Con, and I saw Sela, the iconic, and I just remember thinking, like, wow, this is really, really cool that not only did a, relatively new major tabletop game creator decide to put a woman as their main face of this property, but also a woman of color. And so that's like what honestly like drew me to everything, because I'm like, this seems really cool. So
Nice.
yeah, love Pathfinder, love everything about it. All the people that I have interacted with have been incredible and sweet and wonderful. And I'm really hyped about getting into this. Did I miss anything? I don't know. I
That
know I
was
was kind of
very
rambling.
comprehensive. I think we're good. Yes.
Cool.
All right.
Sweet.
Before I shoot over to Gabrielle with the same question, I am going to try a new spell on the stream, and that
Uh-oh.
spell is going to be music. So, y'all let me know if this is too loud. Okay, I'm looking at you, Rumpus, but really anybody who is watching the stream, let me know. Okay, here we go. It's probably too loud.
Did something happen?
Oh, you two wouldn't be able to hear it. It's just me, because of the way I'm doing the tech. So let me see. I'll lower the volume a little bit. Okay.
Oh, I see. It's a magic thing in Eric's brain that we have to
Oh.
believe is real, just
Yeah.
like the rest of
Yes,
this
Eric.
adventure.
It's a
Yes.
magic thing.
Super cool.
It's a magic thing in my brain that you would
That they can
only
hear, but your
encounter
players can't.
if you're watching the stream on Twitch.
Mhm.
Oh, our new follower, Ice Princess, said the volume was good right before I lowered it a little bit. Let me know if it's still good. Okay, Gabrielle, question to
Wow.
you.
Yes.
How did we know each other? How did I trick you into coming on the
Well,
stream?
I mean, A, how much time do you have? And B, I feel like I tricked you into inviting me on this stream.
Aha, aha. Let's go with the 2-minute answer.
Okay, so I have been editing short stories and novels and anthologies, including Eric's work, for like 15 years now. And we're pals, and we play in a lot of games together and work together. And now I'm actually his agent. And I was going to actually run this game a few months ago, and I didn't get my act together. So that was kismet, because it let Eric volunteer as if it were his own idea to put it on the stream and invite me to play.
Yes. No, that sounds about right. Like
It's
it wasn't
true.
it wasn't just you not getting your act together. It was like the whole thing just kind of collapsed in the way that games sometimes do.
It was a cat herding situation.
Yeah, so
but,
we had this hankering to run this game, and we were like,
Mhm.
"Hey, we have a stream. Let's do it." So
yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't know if you mentioned this, but Gabrielle here has also written a
Oh
Pathfinder
yeah,
novel.
I did mean to mention that actually, and completely forgot. Yeah, I have written a Pathfinder novel and an adventure. The novel is called Pathfinder Tales: Gears of Faith. It's two lesbians and their dog accidentally save the world. It's really fun.
Excellent.
Check it out. It's silly. It's silly as hell. It's a good time. And I've written a Pathfinder adventure and 3 D&D Adventure League adventures. 2 of them are up on DM's Guild, and one of them, if you have played the free intro to Spelljammer adventures, then you have played one of my adventures.
Nice. Yeah. I remember talking with you about that adventure, and it sounded really interesting and really cool. And I
To
hope,
the degree that I could. Yes.
yes, to the degree that you could.
To the
Well, I
degree.
mean, once it had come out and everything,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so yeah, that's a good one to check out.
Yeah.
It's a little quirky the
The
way Spelljammer tends to
mhm.
be, and
The Ravenloft one is my favorite. I would say go for the Ravenloft one first.
ah,
It's called A Calling Upon the Dead, and you get to play pre-gen characters who have to who are brought back to life in a seance to complete their unfinished business because they are all already dead.
very cool.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
one of my favorite things I've ever written. So check that one
Sounds
out.
really fun.
Oh, it is. We may one-shot that one on the stream at some point. It's changed a little since Eric playtested it way back when.
We've come up with lots of really cool one-shot ideas for the stream. Just to take a small tangent from things, like that Pathfinder game that Gabrielle wrote, where we're doing seance and we're inhabiting the bodies of dead adventurers and trying to fulfill their unfinished deeds. That's one. Jen and I have talked about doing a Fate D&D game, which I think
Yes.
would be really cool.
Yes.
That would be
For
fun.
those of you who are also, and I don't mean the Fate game system. I mean Fate the anime, the incredibly insane Natsuverse. Yes, that's right. And Jen here is a huge Fate fan, as you would know if you had met her in person. She has a very large Fate tattoo on her shoulder, which is probably impractical to show on the stream, and I'm not going to ask you to do that. But it is.
If I was wearing a tank top, sure.
If you find
We'll
her at
plan
a
for it on a future stream.
if you find her at a convention and she is wearing appropriate attire, do ask, and she will gladly show it to you, I'm sure. If she's not wearing appropriate attire, probably don't ask, because that's a little creepy. But yeah, it's very impressive, and so we got some ideas going, and it's gonna be fun. Okay, so let me ask you about your characters. So, as I said last week, for anyone who watched, the iconic Pathfinder characters were created originally to be sample characters that are listed in the books. Like, here's how you make an attack roll. Merisiel rolls a d20, adds such and such number. This is the AC that she hits. If she hits, her dagger slices in, hits the monster. You roll 1d4 damage, right? Or this is how Barbarian Rage works, because Rage is always a difficult mechanic to explain and wrap your head around. So when Amiri runs into battle, she can trigger this state where she, does additional damage, gains additional hit points, that kind of thing. But it didn't really go beyond that. Like, the characters were mostly just sample characters to assist in crafting these game books. But as time went on, players wanted to know more about these characters. They wanted to know where they came from, what their adventures were like, how they interacted with each other, what their relationships were like with one another. And over time, Paizo built up these iconic characters into exactly that. Iconic, clear, well-established characters who show up in fiction and show up in the art. That beautiful Wayne Reynolds art that has endured and kind of like defined Pathfinder for 20 years now. And I have put the two of you in the unenviable seat and task of bringing these two characters to life. So, tell me about the character that you're playing, and tell me about your spin on that character. Like, how you intend to make the character pop in the game. I will let you pick who goes first. Or I will call on somebody.
I can go first.
Great.
Okay. So Merisiel, who I notice is still being captioned as Maurizio. So we're just gonna call her Mary.
It's probably going to keep doing that.
Mary is actually not the first character named Mary that I have played, who is kind of a grumpy, non-sunshiny character. And I really like playing elves. I like playing longer lifespan characters who have seen a bunch of sadness and have seen times come and go and have to like keep themselves in the world and decide how to keep themselves in the world and, without getting tired of the world and bored of it. And I think Pathfinder especially really embraces that with their elves and gnomes, and they have, a certain degree of whimsy and a certain degree of active seeking out of new experiences. So that makes it fun. But this has always been kind of my favorite character archetype to play uh, from when I first started role playing online. We won't mention how many years ago that was, but that can definitely drink as well.
A while, a while.
A while, a
Been a
while.
while.
One of my favorite roleplay partners is here in the chat, so yay. And no, it's fun. It's Merisiel is especially one of these elves who's a forlorn elf, which means that she's lived with humans and she's spent her life with all these creatures with shorter lifespans, and she's seen them grow old and die while she's still growing much, much more slowly and aging much more slowly. And she has to deal with that. And there's a sadness to it. There's an isolation to it. So I feel like that leads to sort of a risk-taking behavior because you do start to feel a little immortal. You have to let go of the past that you know and really embrace what's now and how the world changes and be willing to change with it or not. You could be a grumpy person who doesn't like this modern fashion and insists on wearing your cloak from 200 years ago. It's up to you. But I like deciding how much that perspective jades you versus how much you deliberately fill your life with risk seeking or whimsy or fun. And is it the hope and surprise and novelty that motivate you to stick around for another day? Or is it the power of familiarity and routine that's what soothes you? Like, that's just such an interesting mechanic to me. And then there's daggers, and all the daggers ever. Merisiel kind of thinks with her daggers. And that's really fun too.
Nice. Nice. Thank you. Yeah. Merisiel has never met a problem that cannot be resolved with at least one dagger in one way or another. So, yeah. Jen, tell me about Amiri while I figure out an appropriate song to play for her.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear. Yeah, I mean, kind of similarly, Amiri is also, that good old Vi quote from League of Legends, like, punch first, ask questions while punching. Um,
Nice.
yeah, so like I am someone who it's probably because of the ADHD, honestly, but like while there are tropes of characters that I enjoy playing, I don't like playing like the same type of character back to back because I just find I like get bored and it's hard to separate them and all of that. So like my for those of you who are viewers on the channel, my last character from the game we just finished was Ilmarin, a very like good, like a paladin's paladin kind of person, oath of redemption, like high emotional intelligence, believes in people, very trusting, very like, I will save you because I believe in you, kind of like, what if Ted Lasso had a dark backstory? But basically, so I wanted to do something different, and I really like what Amiri as a character is somebody who's kind of like defined by the patriarchy, in that
You know, she was a barbarian from the six bears or six bears, right? Yeah.
Six
Anyway,
pairs, yeah.
yeah, she's from the Six Bears tribe, and basically, it was very much like men are the warriors, men are the ones who hunt, men are the ones who fight, all of this stuff. And she didn't want to do that. Like, she didn't want to be relegated to tending the home and being a brood bear, basically. So, like, you know, she went out there and earned everything, and like, you know, fought with fought with everybody. I don't want to entirely go into her backstory. If you're really interested, you can read the Wikipedia, because I do want to leave some things for fun, dramatic moments on stream. But basically, I kind of see her as, you know, being sort of like stuck in that kind of like what that toxic masculinity does to you, where you feel like the only way to be strong is like, you know, emotionally distant, physically strong, you know, ready to fight if anybody challenges you in any way, and all of that. And I think like the fun of this game is going to be exploring like that vulnerability, and, you know, sort of like her learning that being like becoming softer, becoming more compassionate, becoming like trusting people with vulnerability isn't a weakness, and can be a strength, and just kind of learning like where, you know, like and my hope is just that like having those interactions with like Sela and Kara will sort of give her that wake up call of like, oh, maybe soft power is also a thing that like can be good, and like we don't necessarily have to murderate everything that opposes us. You know, maybe I don't have to be mad all the time. I'm basically kind of looking at it like, what if I made Karlak into like a more tsundere, uh, angry first kind of person?
Oh, it sounds so good. Ah, yeah.
I
Yeah,
hope
yeah,
so.
yeah.
I hope so. We'll see. We'll see. But I definitely imagine that Merisiel and Amiri will be on the same side of a lot of arguments.
Oh my god. Okay.
Briarios writes best Karlak ever. Lol.
Yeah.
Hard. Thank you.
You're correct, Fable. The internet is not ready for Tsundere Karlak.
Bring it. Bring it.
Okay. So I have a question for Gabrielle. Speaking of Fable, who has appeared in the chat, Fable is one of our other players who is playing Kira, and Merisiel and Kira have a long established romance in the fiction of Pathfinder.
They
So how is that going to manifest in the game?
do. Well, we will wait and see.
Look at Eric fishing for spoilers.
Yeah.
I
spoilers.
see. Miri being hard to pin down. I get it.
So look, we've decided that we want to be in that fun beginning part of the relationship where there are a lot of questions that need answering and a lot of feelings that need feeling. So it's going to be, because this is an AU and we can do what we want, right? And we're not sticking to the absolute canon of these characters or this timeline or anything like that. We're going to take it to kind of the beginning of the relationship when they've announced feelings and had that declaration, but don't really know what it means for them yet. And hopefully there will be lots of meaty, angsty, fun things to explore in addition to a dungeon.
Awesome. All right, I'm going to pause the music. Now, thank you all for assisting me. I don't mean you two. I mean the chat for assisting me in making sure the music works. That has been music from Wrath of the Righteous for anyone who has played the Pathfinder video game. Because we are doing this stream with the blessing of Paizo, hopefully the algorithm will not shut us down. So, I will be listening to that on repeat for the next week or so, making sure I figure out the right songs to play at the right times. All right. So,
Oh, oh dear, Fable. Fable is
oh my.
Fable is getting into character in the chat.
I think we're gonna see a Kira who is a little spicier than one
A little
might
spicy.
expect. Kira from the fiction. Kira, it
So
tends to be pretty buttoned up, or is that belted up? I'm not sure.
buckled
Uh,
up.
buckled up. There we go. And Mary is usually the one who is kind of like. Uh, Pushing things a little bit, and it's this great little give and take between them, and I'm looking forward to seeing that on the stream. Yeah, Rumpus in the chat has reminded us that the stream is PG-13. PG-13. We have the in the original Westgate Irregulars campaign, we had the innovation of the town crier who would come by and ring his bell, just shouting PG-13, PG-13 when anything risque was starting to happen.
Hey, we can grapple with clothes on. Totally clean.
That's true. That's true.
Totally clean.
Yeah, the stream will be like if something really risque happens, we will fade to black, and we have a limitation of one F-bomb per session. So, well, I mean, it's not a hard and fast limitation, but it is a recommendation to only stay to one F-bomb per session. Since we are doing this live, I'm going to trust you all to do your best due diligence with that. I'm looking at you specifically, Jen. So, you know.
So I mean, here's the thing with Merisiel and Kira, right? Like, do you take more risks because you know the party's healer is in love with you and is going to keep you alive? And if you do something really rash, she's just going to raise you from the dead to, chew you out. So, you'll be able to say goodbye, right?
Or at least speak
So,
with Dad, right? Yeah, no problem.
yeah. So, hey, whatever I do, we get to say goodbye, and she can yell at me about it, and that's her right, but I'm going to continue to be impulsive because I can trust her to heal me. Or like, would I take fewer risks because I don't want to worry her? Maybe, but that doesn't really seem like a Mary kind of thing to do. Like
It's a,
maybe every once in a while.
it's an interesting character dynamic that it introduces to the game. And I'm hoping that this stream will be a good example of how to run a kind of like slow burn or kind of light, or it could end up being heavy, who knows, romance between two PCs at the table. And how you can invest that conflict into your story and make it just stronger and more memorable and meaningful.
And how communication with your fellow player about where you are and always checking in and doing the safety thing is going to be really helpful to
Right,
keep that on
exactly.
track and keep everybody happy with where it's going.
A lot of people think that like actual play streams that are like good and high quality are scripted and we know what we're going to talk about and we have all of this written down. That's not the case. Like, this stream is very improvised, and we might have a discussion going into it about like the general things that might happen during the stream, but it's largely a surprise. You're largely watching people actually playing this game. But there is a constant flow of communication between the GM and the players, between the players and the players, between all of us all together to make sure that everybody's comfortable, that everybody's getting their time in the spotlight. If anything bothers anybody, we're going to address it either off stage or on stage. Like if Jen comes to me and says, "Hey, I have raged 8 times now and not landed a single hit, and I really want to be a rage monster that saves the day," I'll be like, "Okay, we will make that happen. I will put more low hit point enemies right there in front of you," and then she'll just plow through them, and it will look amazing, right?
Oh gosh.
I just imagine like all these sad little goblins like on like a conveyor belt, like, please don't hurt us.
We didn't want to be here. Ah!
Eric
Meat
picks one up by the
grinder.
scruff of the neck and
It's really interesting. I don't think there are any goblins in the adventure in this particular adventure path.
but you could put one in if you wanted.
I could, but there are other things that fill a similar adventure role to goblins. You'll see. You'll see.
A really cool, you can't
Oh.
exactly see it, but it is a official Paizo goblin dice.
Nice.
So there's a little goblin head in the D20.
Nice.
Decapitated goblin head
Yeah, it's a
in
trophy.
resin.
Cool.
It's about sending a message, okay?
That's right. Yeah.
They had it coming.
They know what
were
they
very
did.
slowly, being conveyor belted into my sword. It's not my fault. And I'll fight you if you say otherwise.
So,
Wow.
a topic that I raised last week, which I'm going to ask again of you two, is that you may have noticed that we are using 5e mechanics and 5e rules with a couple of exceptions. One is that I added focus abilities to the characters. Now, in Pathfinder 2e as it is, your focus ability is not exactly like a spell or an ability, but something that you spend a focus point to activate. And when you don't have a focus point, then you would take the focus action to refocus yourself to gain that point so you can use the ability again. And I thought that was a really cool thing. But D&D doesn't exactly have an equivalent until you look at inspiration. Inspiration, which you dole out for good role playing, and one other thing that I'm going to talk about, is the fuel for the focus point system, for the focus ability system. So when you get inspiration, to encourage you to use that inspiration rather than to hoard it and hold it up,
Like
it also
everybody
fuels.
does.
Yeah, exactly. It also fuels these focus abilities. Would you like to tell me about your character's focus abilities and how you intend to bring them to bear in the game?
I love Mary's focus ability. It is so World of Warcraft in the best way. It is actually a World of Warcraft rogue ability also, where you can take one hit on every single enemy within range. Boom.
That's
Just
right.
Plow through them.
It's like a whirlwind attack thing.
Yep.
And I think it makes a lot of sense with Merisiel specifically. And, if you want to say that you hit every enemy with a different dagger and you just leave those daggers in all the enemies, I think that would be pretty cool too. Merisiel does have 12 daggers in her inventory, and that's just to start. So
I love that.
That's just the
for her.
visible ones.
Listen, girlie's gotta accessorize, okay?
That's right.
that's right. All right, Jen, what does Amiri bring into the table in terms of focus ability?
Amiri gets to have a cool thing where basically I can spend an inspiration to get a bunch of temporary hit points. So in my personal headcanon, it's just going to be that thing of she's too angry to die. So
Exactly.
I am super hyped for just, I don't know, some situation where she's got 9 arrows sticking out of her and all of these wounds and stuff, but is somehow still has a hit point. It's done.
I have clearly been trying to kill her, and she just
Yeah.
spits blood and spits an arrowhead, and then just swells up with power and just ah.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't play tested these, so I don't know how balanced they're gonna be, and so I might have to
only
change.
one way to find out.
I might have to change how things work. We'll see. It's a work in progress. You watching the stream, you are all watching us playtest these things in real time. So if anything goes wrong, it wasn't my fault. Okay, so I will point out one other thing, and I will let you know and remind the chat. There is also a mechanic where, and basically Gabrielle introduced this to me by running a game that I kept rolling ones in. And
They were very well-meaning ones.
well, I was trying to attack and I rolled a 1. And Gabrielle says, well, what happens when you roll the 1? I'm like, okay. I pulled out my axe and I threw it over the enemy's shoulder.
Briarios was also in that game.
That's right.
That was the Oops All Monsters game.
Briarios was standing in the background going, what is he doing? And then I'm like, okay, I will channel divinity, because I was a war cleric. I will channel divinity and make another attack. And I rolled a 1 again, and I'm like, I will throw my longsword over his shoulder. And so I disarmed myself quite rapidly.
Little did you know, the party rogue was like, haha, wouldn't it be funny if I just greased the handles of his weapons? Wouldn't that be hilarious as a joke?
And I believe I parlayed it into an intimidation check. I don't even need this hammer or this sword to take you down. And
Amazing.
the guard was like, what?
Yeah.
Anyway, but what came from that is that I decided that when you roll a 1 in combat, either making an attack roll, making a saving throw, you can have one of two things happen. You're going to fail either way, okay? But then you can determine one additional thing happening. Either an interesting thing happens to probably undermine you, which you can determine, or I can determine if you want to throw it at me. Or nothing unusual happens and someone else on your team gains inspiration. So in the first case, if something bad happens to you, like you disarm yourself or you slip and fall, or you accidentally touch the enemy with your healing spell and then they healed some hit points or something like that, then you will gain inspiration. But if you don't want to do that, if you don't want to risk having something negative happen to your character, you can give inspiration to someone else on your team. Those are the two choices, basically. And I encourage you to have yourself fail in an interesting way, have something interesting happen to you, and thus gain inspiration. But you can always throw it on me, and I will have something happen. The thing about throwing it on me, though, is that it won't necessarily be detrimental to you. It'll just be interesting to the combat. So
I don't like the way you use the word interesting there, Eric.
well,
It's,
I'm talking an earthquake starts and everybody, has to roll an acrobatics check to stay on their feet, or
but
part
then the
of the
bad guys
cavern.
have to
Yeah.
roll an inspiration check too.
Right.
Or
Right, exactly.
Wow.
Or part of the cavern starts collapsing and rocks fall from the ceiling. Not enough rocks to kill everybody, but rocks that might
I
hurt
was
you.
gonna say, when the GM says rocks fall, everyone has a preconditioned response to that.
yeah, we do.
We did.
That's only half a phrase. Yeah.
I was in a game where the DM was like, okay, rocks fall from the ceiling, and then we all made our rolls to escape, and we're like, and nobody died.
Yay!
It was good.
You did it.
Mhm.
Anyway, but
Yeah.
we'll see how that goes at the table.
It's a really fun mechanic. I enjoy playing that way.
Yeah. While we're talking about house rules, I also use Gabrielle's potion house rule, which is to
thank you.
say, if you use a minor action to drink a healing potion, you roll for it to see how many hit points you heal. If you spend an entire round downing that potion, you just heal the full amount that it could have healed you.
Oh.
So,
That's cool.
if you're just using the bonus action to drink the potion, then you might not get all of it in you, right? You might bobble some of it, or only some of it, gets down your throat, right? But if you're really focusing it and you spend an entire round just you're out of combat
Tap,
or
tap,
something,
tap, tap.
then you'll get the full effect of the potion.
I'm one of those really obsessive nerds who likes to figure out the real world ways that things happen in the game, and part of that was what made me such a great writer for a tie-in book, I think. But it's just a thing I've always done. Like, how come the potions stack in stacks of 5, but the empty vials stack in 20s. Well, because they nest in each other when they're empty, but once they're full, you have to insulate them better and things like that. So that's just how my mind works. So I was like, yeah, you get the full value of the potion if you take the time to actually drink it instead of just trying to like down it with one hand while you're swinging your sword with the
Yeah.
other hand.
If you're in combat and you're running around, you're like, oh,
Now I have a question for you, Gabrielle. And
Mhm.
why do hot dogs come in packs of 6 and hot dog buns come in packs of 8?
Because they're made by different industries that don't talk to each other, and they're both so stubborn. They have a long-standing, generations-long feud, and neither of them
Ooh.
wants to be the one to change.
see that is a very
Oh.
generous answer.
Mhm.
My
That's
answer
how
would
we-
be capitalism.
I mean, but
So they're
you
trying
know,
to make you buy more of both, right?
I was gonna say that's how we know she's a writer. Like that's a story I would read, like the Hot Dog Diaries.
Yeah, this would be a great rom-com between a hot
Mhm.
dog executive and a bun executive.
Mm-hmm.
The hot dog cold war, the cold dog war.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, we'll run it up the chain. All right,
Mhm.
so we have about 13 minutes left before I will let you lovely players go and the audience as well. Thank you, chat. Do you have any questions for us, chat?
Jen,
We
the
would.
title of that is Chicago Style.
I love that.
For full context, Jen is from Chicago. I don't know if you could tell.
My accent isn't that bad. It mostly comes out when I'm drunk.
This is like our mutual friend Manda, who
Mhm.
you've probably seen on the Grey Mantle stream or on Twilight of the Realms, who, like, when she gets like very pointed at making something, the Southern comes out, right, and that is a sight to behold. Okay,
Any
so
questions?
I don't see any particular questions from the chat, so I'm going to come up with a particular question. Do Merisiel and or Amiri have a particular goal going into this adventure? Like, how do you see their what's their motivation, shall we say?
Hmm. I mean, I can go first with this one if that's cool with you.
Sure.
So I feel like for Amiri, I'm planning to play it like not too long after she left her tribe. So like maybe a couple years out or something like that. So she still has like all of that baggage from, you know, leaving her tribe in the way that she did. And I kind of see it as like this is sort of like finding herself after you know, having that, like, even though it wasn't a community that liked her nor accepted her, it was still a community and like a big part of her identity. So losing that, like how do you enter the world? Like you're basically just really untethered. So like getting to adventure with these people, or you know, it's literally like the first sort of semblance of some sort of community that she's had in so long. So I just kind of see it as that, like again, try to figure out what her place in the world is. Like, what is she gonna do? You know, who is she without her tribe behind her? That kind of stuff.
Cool. I see Mary's goal in this adventure as spending time with Kira. I feel like they've acknowledged their feelings and they probably haven't had much time to explore those feelings because they're always off on their separate adventures. And this time, maybe they said, let's get assigned to something together so that we can be in the same space for a while and see if maybe this can work.
Nice.
And also kill a bunch of things because she likes killing a bunch of things.
Daggers.
Mhm.
There is a large temple to Sarenrae in Otari. which is where the campaign will mostly take place. The Dawnflower Library. So it is a combination temple and library. And I think we talked about this a little bit last week. Kira's faith in the Dawnflower, Saren Ray, is always a thing in the Kira and Merisiel relationship, because Kira and Merisiel both have different patron deities who are very different from one another. And while Merisiel and Kira are like, they're trying to make it work, and they work really hard at making it work. The two deities are very different.
Yeah. At no point is this relationship a couple. This is a foursome. It's the two of them and their gods. And all of those people are always at the table. Yeah.
So, Gabrielle, what do you think about Callistria? Like, how do you think of that deity and how she might influence your portrayal of Merisiel?
Callistria is fun. I mean, by definition, Callistria, the goddess of pleasure and brightness and trickery and deception and freedom and hedonism, is gonna be a
Yeah.
fun person to bring to a party.
And vengeance.
And vengeance, yes.
The
But
goddess of 100% that bitch. Got it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but thoughtful
Where's-
vengeance.
Where's
Like-
your ex-girlfriend?
Not like letting vengeance own you, but like using vengeance as a stepping stone toward your personal freedom. And her trickery and her vengeance and her pleasure, it's all kind of the same thing. It's all freedom. It's absolutely all an expression of freedom and joy, and cutting out that which does not bring joy into your life, literally with daggers. So, like, this all makes sense to Mary. She's totally on board with this. What
She makes an effort to reconcile it in her own head. Yes.
what is very difficult for her, I think, would be monogamy. I think that fitting monogamy into that framework would be difficult because, well, if you're supposed to seek pleasure, then are you just supposed to seek pleasure with one person? Or is that limiting your pleasure? Or is making them happy that they know they're the only person who gets you for a while a source of happiness? But I don't even know if canonically they're monogamous. So I feel like there's a lot of area to explore the freedom of that relationship and see how it can appease both Kira and Mary's beliefs at the same time.
I think
But
this is a very interesting angle.
It's going to
Yeah.
be interesting. Like, their relationship is never going to be a closed loop of two people. So even if Mary decides that what makes her happy now is to ride out Kira's lifetime with her, and there'll be time for other people later, that's, because Kira's a human and she's not going to live as long, then okay. But sure, choosing monogamy in marriage can be a way to control your own body and what you do with it. Or there's the more, I think, Callistrian view of enjoying pleasure with more people than that. So it'll be really interesting to see how that plays out. And I'm not like being prescriptive about it. I'm just really interested to see if these issues come up in role play and if it gets deep.
I'm just gonna say, like, I believe Saren Ray is a part of the in-canon polycule of goddesses, of which Callistria is sometimes a playful fourth. So
A playful fourth. Yeah, this is
That's
this
a
is
good way to
This
put that.
This is important.
in the whole scheme of, we're also in bed with our deities. Like, I'm just saying, there's some
Yeah.
leeway there.
Yeah, but does Kira see it that way too? I don't know. I
Man.
don't want to know before we start playing because I think that's a really interesting thing to find
Yeah.
out.
Interesting.
My Pathfinder character that I played in the long running stream was a Callistrian rogue assassin. And I got to play her at Drachenfest, which is this really fun live action role play festival that happens in like late June, I believe. And it was super fun because I got to do little petty acts of vengeance on behalf of people who were slighted.
Oh,
So
nice.
next year, I'm going to make it into a business and then hand out little tokens of just like you've been blessed by the patron saint of vengeance.
Love it.
Congratulations.
I am really okay. So Gabrielle earlier mentioned like when your friend slash lover is the cleric of the party, like do you do you exert yourself more because she'll heal you, or do you like back off because you know she's going to favor you and you need her to be able to heal everyone else? What happens when she goes down in combat first?
Oh.
Well,
Uh-oh.
then
Merisiel
you,
does follow a goddess of vengeance, after all.
yeah, well, then you pour a healing potion down her throat and then go off and extract vengeance.
Also, Eric, there is a difference between vengeance and revenge because, you know, revenge is losing yourself to emotions and therefore, you know, blasphemy, whereas vengeance is holy because it's just justice for people who are not in power.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's the
Oh,
find out part of the equation,
Mm-hmm.
I like
which
it.
is the natural consequence of the effing
Yeah,
around.
I like it.
because, you know, when you're on that chaotic alignment, you start to notice that laws are just only benefiting people in power and those who have wealth and fortunes to be protected by those systems.
I think
So yeah,
Amiri and Merisiel are going to get along.
yeah, like I feel like I don't want to take away Kira's spell slots from other people who might need them more, but also I'm not going to pull my punches because she'll worry about me.
Fair. All right. Well, we're just about done. Do
Mhm.
you have a last minute comment for the good of the order?
I'm wondering if Amiri has a deity guiding principle that she's
Uh,
going to be following.
I don't think like she doesn't have a deity to my knowledge, and from what I read, it kind of doesn't sound like she does.
She is kind
Um,
of loosely connected with a war deity,
mm,
but she's not like a devout
yeah,
follower exactly.
it mostly seemed like she just kind of values strength and you know whatever uh, just yeah, just that like that guiding thing of like the strongest are the ones who get to make the rules and you know do things and I need to be strong at all costs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds about right.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah,
it'll be
the name of
interesting.
that
Yeah.
deity is Gorham, right?
Mm.
But like that might be more of a sort of like I follow this deity out of tradition rather than
Yeah.
necessarily out of faith.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I imagine too, like with what happened, like with her tribe and stuff, that like kind of like leaving some of that behind also might have been a thing or whatever. Like mostly like I'm leaving it all open to see what happens in game and like what draws her. Like, you know, maybe
Interesting.
being around faithful people will make her go like I want to believe in something. Or maybe being around them will make her go like, man, I'm glad I'm not bound by religious stuff. That seems terrible.
So
You
there
know,
might be
yeah,
a religious element to Amiri's journey as well. That's
yeah,
interesting.
maybe.
Yeah, we'll
You
see. We'll
know,
see.
yeah, like I'm kind of thinking about it from the sense of like if she does have a faith, it is very much that like lapsed Catholic kind of thing of like, you know, I show up on Sundays sometimes, but like I say the words and whatever because that's what I'm expected to do.
Yeah, that makes sense. Makes a lot of
Hmm.
sense. Okay, cool. Well, uh,
Rumpus says a Christmas and Easter Goramite.
Yeah.
yeah, Yeah, perfect.
Shows up for every
Perfect.
feast day, though. Every feast day, right there.
Priorities.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So, remind us who you are and where people can find you. Take it away, Gabrielle.
Hi, so I'm Gabrielle Harbowy, and I can be found at, I'm typing in the code. Did typing in the code work? Yes,
Yeah.
that's my Patreon, where I give writerly advice and talk about gaming and other things, and I'm happy to adjust content to fulfill the needs of people who want content on such things. And I have a Discord link there, and I stream occasionally. But right now I'm busy basically selling books for other people. So doing the
Nice.
agent thing, and happy to answer questions about that online. So that's where I am.
Jen.
Hello, I'm Jen Brazas. I go by Savage Sparrow on the internet. SavageSparrow.com is my awesome website where you can buy nerdy apparel and accessories, including officially licensed Pathfinder gear. Patreon.com/SavageSparrow for following my artwork. And most importantly, I'm really excited about this. We have a Starfinder collection that will be launching soon in October on Kickstarter. So definitely, please check that out. Hit that notify me on launch button. It's going to be the patterns, this really cute retro space pattern. And we're going to have a dress, a shirt, a hat, a bunch of pins of the cute little guys. It's going to be really great. Also, I can announce it here first. I am dedicating this collection also to my friend Jer that who passed away in February. And they were a really incredible person, and I got permission to donate 10% of what we raise on Kickstarter to the Trevor Project, which some of you might know had their funding cut, so they need funding more than ever, and it's going to be really, really great. So yeah, support the project, support Trevor Project. It's all good.
Sorry for your loss, Jen, but that is such a beautiful way to honor your friend. So,
Yeah.
do support Jen's Kickstarter and get yourself some great art and such. I have been excited to be DM GM of this forthcoming game, which is going to launch next week, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and we are gonna go to the sleepy little hamlet of Otari, and I'm sure nothing could possibly be going wrong there. Nothing at all, except for the mysterious light in the swamp. Or is it a fen? It's actually a fen, not a swamp, which I learned are actually two different things. So we'll get into that next week. I'm a writer, game designer. You can find my stuff online, or preferably on the Dungeon Scrawlers Discord. Exclamation point Discord will take you to the link. Come join us. We talk about this campaign and others, stuff that's going on the stream. We are paired up with Writing About Dragons and Shit, the podcast by B. Dave Walters, Trevor Bettis, Aaron M. Evans, which is all about, well, writing about dragons and shit. It has a great following, and they are our sister podcast, and so we have two fan bases that come together and mingle and create all kinds of great creative fun banter, and it's great. So come join us there. Otherwise, I will see you all next week. Until then, stay scrawly.